Winter is slamming on the brakes, and what's about to replace it will leave you speechless. A 100-degree temperature swing in 72 hours, 100 degrees, from -40 wind chills to 50-degree highs. That's not a typo, that's not an error, that's what's coming to the Midwest this week. At minute 5:15, I'll reveal which cities could smash December temperature records by 15 to 20 degrees. And at 9 minutes 40 seconds, you'll discover why Christmas morning could bring a temperature map nobody expected. Right now, December 15th, 2025, wind chills are hitting -40 across the northern plains. Dangerous cold, life-threatening cold. The kind of cold that kills in minutes if you're exposed. But by Wednesday, you'll be opening windows. By Thursday, some of you will be in shorts. This is day 349 of the year, and the weather pattern is about to execute the most dramatic reversal we've seen all winter. A massive warm ridge is building. Not just warm, abnormally warm, record-threatening warm, the kind of warmth that makes you forget it's December. The Climate Prediction Center sees it. Their 8 to 14-day outlook shows above-average temperatures for nearly the entire country. Not slightly above average, much above average. Texas, it's gonna be hot. Legitimately hot for December standards. The Great Plains and Midwest, 15 to 25 degrees above average by midweek. Some locations, 30 degrees above normal. But here's where this gets interesting, and I need you to pay attention because this changes everything. The pattern isn't stable. It's volatile. Extremely volatile. Yes, the overall trend is warm, but cold shots will periodically crash through. And when warm air and cold air collide violently, bad things happen. Severe thunderstorms. In December, with tornado potential. Blizzards in the north, while the south experiences record heat. Same day, same weather system. This isn't your typical warm winter pattern. This is chaos. Organized chaos, but chaos nonetheless. Keep watching because at minute 13, I'll show you why this volatile pattern could produce the most active December severe weather we've seen in years. First, let's understand what's driving this transformation. High pressure is building over the central United States, a massive ridge in the jet stream. This ridge acts like a wall, blocking Arctic air from penetrating south. Cold air gets deflected into Canada. Warm air from the Gulf floods north. The temperature contrast between what we have now and what's coming is staggering. Current conditions tell a brutal story. -40 wind chills across multiple states, single-digit actual temperatures, some areas below zero. This is dangerous, deadly cold. But watch what happens over the next 72 hours. The cold air retreats rapidly, almost violently. It doesn't slowly warm up, it explodes into warmth. By Tuesday, temperatures climb into the 30s and 40s in the Midwest. Not bad, manageable. By Wednesday, we're talking 50s and 60s. Wait, what? Yes, 50s and 60s in mid-December. In the northern plains and Midwest, Thursday, some locations could touch 70 degrees. 70 degrees on December 18th, in places that are currently -40 wind chills. That's a 110-degree swing from wind chill to actual temperature. 110 degrees in 4 days. Your body won't know how to process this. Your heating system will be confused. Your winter coat will go from essential to unnecessary in less than a week. The temperature anomaly maps are lighting up, bright red, everywhere. 15 to 25 degrees above average becoming the norm, some areas pushing 30 degrees above average. Missouri on December 18th, potentially 30 degrees above normal. That means highs in the upper 60s or low 70s when normal is upper 30s. This is remarkable. This is noteworthy. This is the kind of warmth that makes news. But here's the twist I mentioned earlier. Recent model runs are showing something different than previous forecasts. Earlier this week, models showed boring warmth. Just a stable, quiet, warm pattern. Nothing exciting, nothing interesting. Now, models are showing storminess, activity, volatility. The warm air is still there. The overall pattern is still above average. But periodic cold shots will crash through, and those collisions create weather drama. We're not talking about a blowtorch pattern anymore. We're talking about a variable pattern where warmth wins overall, but cold air puts up a fight periodically. And those fights? Those create severe weather opportunities, snow chances, storm systems, active weather. Sometimes the best snowstorms happen when warm air is in place and cold air times its arrival perfectly. The moisture from the warm air, the cold air to freeze it. Perfect combination. This pattern has that potential, not constantly, but periodically. And that makes forecasting challenging but fascinating. Christmas morning is shaping up to be bizarre, way above average in the west, below average in the east, a massive temperature gradient from coast to coast. The west could be experiencing near-record warmth. The east could be dealing with below-average cold. Christmas morning, same country, completely opposite conditions. White Christmas probabilities are dropping for most of America. The snowy pattern we've been in, where it snows every few days east of the Rockies, that's ending. We're transitioning to a more variable pattern, less consistent snow, more temperature swings, more volatility. Unless you're in the Northeast or high elevations of the Pacific Northwest, your chances of a white Christmas are trending down rapidly. Sorry, snow lovers, this pattern doesn't favor you, not for Christmas anyway. Now let's talk about the atmospheric river situation in the Pacific Northwest. Because this is serious, this is dangerous, this needs your attention if you live there. An atmospheric river is hitting today and tomorrow. It won't slow down. Another one arrives Wednesday and Thursday. Back-to-back moisture bombs. 3 feet of snow in the mountains. 3 feet. That's not a forecast. That's a warning. Coastal flooding will be severe. We already have flooding problems. This adds fuel to the fire, makes a bad situation worse. Here's what makes this particularly dangerous. This atmospheric river comes with a cold front. The last one was just warm rain. This one starts warm, then crashes cold. Snow levels will plummet from 6,000 feet to 2,000 feet in hours, not gradually, rapidly. Stevens Pass, 1 to 2 feet of snow forecast. Mount Baker, up to 3 feet possible. Higher peaks could see even more. This isn't light fluffy powder. This is heavy, wet concrete snow, the kind that breaks tree branches, collapses roofs, causes avalanches. And it's dropping fast. Places that are warm right now will freeze over quickly. Snow will accumulate in short periods. Roads will become impassable. Travel will be impossible. If you're in Washington or Oregon, prepare now. Stock supplies, charge devices, fill gas tanks. This is happening. The flooding component can't be ignored either. Rivers are already high. Ground is saturated. More rain is coming. The math doesn't work. Major flooding is likely. Communities will be impacted. Roads will close. Evacuations are possible. This is not a drill. This is not hype. This is a legitimate, dangerous situation unfolding in the Pacific Northwest. Now, back to that storm system I mentioned for Thursday, December 18th, because this one packs multiple punches across multiple regions. Wednesday into Thursday, the atmospheric river crosses the Rockies. Snow develops in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Not light snow, heavy snow. Then, the energy reorganizes on the east side of the Rockies. A low-pressure system forms, and it intensifies rapidly. By Thursday, we're looking at 987 millibars. That's a very strong low-pressure system. That's borderline extreme. Blizzard conditions develop across southern Canada, possibly North Dakota. Strong winds, heavy snow, zero visibility. But that's the north side of the system. The south side? Completely different story. Record warmth funnels moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Warm, moist air meets cold, dry air. The collision happens over the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley. Thunderstorms develop. In December, with severe weather potential, the low-level jet, winds a few thousand feet up, will be screaming at 60 to 70 miles per hour. That creates wind shear. Wind shear creates organized thunderstorms. Organized thunderstorms create severe weather. Instability won't be extreme. We're not talking spring tornado outbreak levels. But we don't need extreme instability in December. Moisture and wind shear can be enough. Damaging winds are the primary threat. Straight-line winds and thunderstorms could reach 60 miles per hour. That's destructive. That causes damage. Tornadoes, possible but not highly probable. The risk is low, maybe 5%. But 5% risk in December is noteworthy. This doesn't happen often. Most at risk: Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, the mid-Mississippi and Ohio valleys. Timing: Thursday afternoon into evening. Peak risk probably between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. local time. On the backside of the thunderstorms, snow fills in across Ohio and Indiana. The Great Lakes region, interior northeast. Cold air crashes in behind the system. By Friday, December 19th, we're back to winter. Briefly, very briefly. Because immediately after that cold shot, another warm-up builds. More record heat pushes into the country. The roller coaster continues. I'm not ringing alarm bells for the severe weather yet. It's still several days away. But I am putting it on your radar. We'll be talking about this more as data improves. The volatility of this pattern is the headline. Warm, then cold, then warm, then cold, over and over. For the next 2 weeks, overall average will be above average. But the swings will be dramatic, violent at times, impactful for sure. Your Christmas forecast depends entirely on which side of a cold front you're on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that's impossible to pinpoint this far out. We're over 200 hours away from Christmas. A lot can change, but current trends suggest below-average temperatures possible in the Great Lakes and Southeast on Christmas Eve, thanks to cold air damming. The Northeast could see below-average temperatures Christmas morning, too. White Christmas chances there remain better than anywhere else in the lower 48. But the West? Way above average. Possibly record warmth. It's a split pattern, coast-to-coast temperature gradient. Unusual, but not unprecedented. Let me give you a detailed timeline because this week is complicated. Monday, December 15th. Today, brutal cold, -40 wind chills, dangerous conditions. Stay inside if possible. Monday night, still very cold, no improvement yet. Lowest temperatures of this cold snap. Tuesday, December 16th. Cold begins retreating. Highs climb into the 30s, wind chills improve. Still cold, but less dangerous. Tuesday night, lull in Pacific Northwest. Brief break before next atmospheric river. Temperatures continue moderating elsewhere. Wednesday, December 17th. Major warm-up day. 50s and 60s spreading across the Midwest. Atmospheric river slams Pacific Northwest. Heavy rain and mountain snow begins. Wednesday night, peak atmospheric river intensity. 3 feet of snow possible in Cascades. Flooding worsens. Storm energy crosses Rockies. Thursday, December 18th, the big day. Multiple weather events simultaneously. Record warmth in central U.S. Severe thunderstorms mid-Mississippi Valley. Blizzard conditions Dakotas and southern Canada. 987 millibar low pressure. This is peak chaos day. Thursday night. Severe weather continues Ohio Valley. Snow fills in behind cold front. Arctic air returns to northern plains. Friday, December 19th. Cold air spreads east. Snow in Great Lakes and interior northeast. Temperature crash from Thursday. Another whiplash event. Friday night. Coldest night of this brief cold shot. But nothing like Monday night, more manageable. Saturday, December 20th. Cold holds in the north. Warmth returns to the south. Patterns starting to stabilize into warm mode. Sunday, December 21st. More warmth spreading. Cold air retreating again. Ridge rebuilding. Next week into Christmas. Predominantly warm for most areas. Periodic cold shots possible. Which one hits Christmas depends on timing we can't nail down yet. Beyond Christmas into early January. More abnormally warm air. Pattern doesn't look to break down. Warmth persists well into the new year. The severe weather potential extends beyond just Thursday. Anytime we get these warm surges followed by cold fronts, we risk severe weather. One of these events, maybe not this week but soon, will likely produce a significant severe weather outbreak, possibly with tornadoes. It happens almost every year during these volatile winter patterns. I don't see it immediately, not in the next few days, but as we go through late December and early January, the risk is there. Be prepared for that possibility. The temperature records at risk are numerous, too many to list individually, but here are some highlights. Midwest cities could see December highs 15 to 20 degrees above previous records, not tying records, obliterating them. Southern plains could experience 80-degree temperatures. In December, that's summer heat. In winter, even northern areas could see temperatures that rival October or November, not December. Records that have stood for decades, maybe a century, could fall. Multiple records, multiple locations, multiple days. This is a historic warmth event for many areas. Not just warm, historically warm, statistically significant warm. The implications go beyond just comfort. This affects everything. Energy demand plummets. Natural gas usage drops. Heating bills decrease. Good for consumers. Challenging for energy sector. Agriculture benefits. Livestock less stressed. Soil workable longer. Planting season could start early. But there are downsides. Insects survive, disease pressure remains, trees could bud early, then get damaged by late winter cold. Winter sports industry struggles. Ski resorts need snow, snowmobile trails need cold, ice fishing needs ice. None of those are happening in this pattern. Retail benefits. People shop more in nice weather. Holiday shopping becomes easier. Travel becomes safer for most. But winter equipment sales tank. Nobody's buying snow blowers in 70-degree weather. Nobody's buying winter coats when it feels like spring. The economic impact ripples through everything. Some sectors win, some sectors lose. That's weather economics. Public health implications are mixed. Fewer slip and fall injuries, less hypothermia, fewer snow shoveling heart attacks. That's good. But flu spreads easier when people congregate indoors in warm weather. Air quality can suffer. Temperature inversions trap pollution. That's bad. It's complicated, always complicated. For individuals, the preparation steps depend on your location and the specific threats you face. Pacific Northwest residents, this week is critical. Prepare for flooding, prepare for heavy mountain snow, stock emergency supplies, know evacuation routes, monitor river levels. This is serious. This is dangerous. Don't take it lightly. Northern Plains and Upper Midwest residents, Thursday is your high-impact day. Prepare for strong winds, possibly blizzard conditions. Then, prepare for rapid temperature changes. 40-degree swings are coming. Dress in layers. Be ready for anything. Mid-Mississippi and Ohio Valley residents, Thursday, severe weather is possible. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. Know your shelter location. Monitor forecasts closely. Don't ignore December thunderstorms. They can be dangerous. Southern states, enjoy the warmth. No major threats for you. Good week overall. Maybe some strong storms Thursday, but nothing extreme expected. Northeast residents, you're the wild card for Christmas. Could be cold. Could be snow. Could be mild. Too far out to know. Check back in a few days. Everyone, adjust to temperature swings. Don't get caught off guard. Check forecasts daily. Conditions are changing rapidly. What's true Monday isn't true Thursday. The messaging around this pattern is important. This is not climate change discussion. This is weather pattern discussion. Weather patterns fluctuate. We get warm winters, we get cold winters. This happens to be a warm period within winter. The pattern is driven by ridge placement, jet stream configuration, high pressure location. These are studied, understood phenomena. Will these patterns become more common in the future? That's a different conversation for a different time. Right now, we're focused on what's happening this December. Model agreement on the overall warmth is excellent. All major models show similar trends. High confidence in above average temperatures through Christmas. Model agreement on specific storm timing is less certain. The Thursday system looks likely, but exact track and intensity could shift. Christmas forecast has low confidence right now. Too far out, too many variables. We'll know more by the weekend. One thing we can say with high confidence, White Christmas is unlikely for most of America. The pattern doesn't support it. Snow chances are dropping rapidly. If you're dreaming of a White Christmas, you'll probably be disappointed, unless you live in very specific locations. Northern Rockies, northern Minnesota, high peaks of Northeast. That's about it. The rest of the country? Brown Christmas, muddy Christmas, maybe even shorts and t-shirt Christmas in some areas. Some people will love this. Easier travel, outdoor activities possible, lower heating bills, holiday cheer without winter gear. Others will hate it. Doesn't feel like Christmas without snow. Tradition broken. Winter sports canceled. Either way, it's what's coming. Accept it, adapt to it, make the best of it. The atmosphere is about to put on quite a show. 100-degree temperature swings, record heat, severe thunderstorms, blizzards, all within the same week. This is weather at its most dynamic, its most volatile, It's most fascinating. Winter is hitting the brakes hard. So hard, you might get whiplash from the sudden stop. And what comes after? Spring temperatures. In December, for weeks. It's going to feel bizarre. It's going to feel wrong, but it's going to be reality. Stay informed. Forecasts are changing rapidly. What I tell you today might be different tomorrow. That's the nature of this volatile pattern. Check back frequently. We'll have more updates, more details, more specific information as events get closer. For Thursday's severe weather, we'll have a dedicated update Wednesday evening. For Christmas, we'll have detailed forecasts by the weekend. Right now, the big picture is clear. Cold now, warmth coming, volatility throughout, Christmas forecast uncertain. Pattern persists into January. That's what you need to know. That's what's coming. Prepare for rapid changes. Be flexible. Stay alert. Weather waits for no one. This is shaping up to be one of the more memorable December weather patterns in recent years. Not for snow, not for cold, for warmth, for volatility, for unpredictability. Winter is hitting the brakes, the warm express is taking over, and the ride is going to be wild. Stay tuned for updates, stay safe through the transitions, and enjoy the warmth while it lasts. Because nothing lasts forever. This pattern will eventually break, cold will eventually return, but not for a while. Not until well into the new year based on current indications. For now, pack away the heavy winter gear. You won't need it much, not this December, not this Christmas, and that's your complete breakdown of what's coming. From brutal cold today to potential record heat by midweek. From winter to spring and back again. All in the span of days. The atmosphere never fails to amaze, never fails to surprise, never fails to keep us guessing. That's why we do this. That's why we watch. That's why we forecast. Weather is never boring, especially not this December. Stay with us for all the updates as this wild pattern unfolds.